Or we just make it short and sweet for Tom's honor. It's Chiefs night.
Oops, I stepped on, which is the cord.
And be glad the meetings are at 5:30, not 7 o'clock, right?
No, I was on my phone. Do you get trick-or-treaters, Dave?
No.
No.
I had 4, and then I had to go to the community building to do rentals, so I took the candy up there and passed out quite a bit.
We had about a dozen houses in our neighborhood that actually had.
I was handing out
We
candy,
walked
but-
around our little block there. And the mayor's the only one that was giving out nice full-size candy bars.
Hey, but I gave out a lot of candy.
And you gave out a lot.
Yeah, if you came to my house, you didn't go away hungry. I'll tell you that. Those 4 kids got loaded up.
Yeah, those ladies are like, you're like our second people, so here.
Exactly.
It's like 8:30, and the girls are like,
I
Ryan
know.
took one, they're like, oh no, here Ryan, and they just puked his sack, like, oh my gosh. Here comes the death. They had a fun though. Girls were a cow and
Oh, nice.
a pajamas or something.
50s pool skirt, everything.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Mayor, all the women in Bessemer called in sick. All the women in Bessemer called in sick.
Feeling bad earlier.
Yeah, she was feeling bad and got worse. She thought sleep would take care of it, but if you sat next to her during the budget meeting, drink plenty of water.
That would be.
Yeah, you don't need her son.
Take your
Make sure you
vitamins.
drink plenty of water.
Backside.
Thanks, you're sleeping in the guest room now. Yeah. We had a dog house, that's the way you go.
I need to take something.
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot. We do vitamin times Ryan every morning, so. I suppose.
That kid has a.
Tonight, we are honored to have Mr. Van Camp. Am I pronouncing that right? No. He's, leads the Lord's Prayer of our senior citizens. And I've asked him up here tonight to lead us in our prayers. And hopefully we can do a good job tonight. Shall we all stand while he gives us our prayer?
Shall we pray? Our gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening hour as all those that are present here are able to get the work done that is necessary and that is in front of them. We can thank you for your love that you provide for us daily, each moment. And we again thank you for the first responders of this organization, that they too will remain safe in their duties that they have to perform. We're so grateful for them. And Father, be with our loved ones as they are near and dear to each one of us at all times. Father, I thank you for this honor and privilege to do this for these folks this night. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
I'm calling this meeting to order at 5:30. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nice job.
Mr. Matthew, would you please call the roll?
Gallagher,
Present.
Jacoby,
Present.
Scarborough,
Present.
Page,
Here.
Langner,
Here.
Olson.
Here.
Do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
I believe we have some discussion related to the addendum that Alderwoman Messmer wrote up to replace page 3 and 4 on the October 7th minutes. You guys have that paper with you guys? So as far as comments go, I would like to say that most of the items in here that she expounded on in addition are things that actually happened, and it just adds a little bit more context to the minutes. I think they're good. One of the sentences, though, I think needs to be changed. So the very first sentence of the alteration says, City Administrator Slater noted that 91 applications were received, semicolon, narrowing the poll to 5 candidates approved by the city clerk for review. I would like to see that sentence replaced with what was originally written in the minutes, which was Administrator Slater noted that we had received 91 applications, which he had narrowed to 5 and sent to the city clerk for review. So as part of the, I'm sorry, what did you say, Mr.
I
Slater?
thought that's the way it read. Okay, so you're saying, I got it, right.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I think that the sentence written on the addendum changes the meaning of what was literally said during the meeting. So much so that it takes it out of context. The sentence as it's written in the addendum says that City Administrator Slater noted that 91 applications were received, narrowing the pool to 5 candidates approved by the city clerk for review, which kind of insinuates that the city clerk reviewed all 91 applications, but according to the testimony provided, he did not. He was given the 5 by the city administrator, and the original sentence as written conveys that meaning better, I think. So I'm fine with the changes as long as we utilize the first sentence from the original minutes.
So you're making a motion?
I believe so, yes. I move that we accept the changes to the meeting minutes for October 7th, with the exception of the first sentence, instead using the originally written sentence in the meeting minutes. And then secondarily to that, so that's part A. Part B is there is a misspelled word in the 3rd paragraph. It says paraments, but I believe that's supposed to be parameters.
Is there a second?
Is that it?
Yes, that is my full motion. Use the first sentence of what was written, utilize everything else, fix the spelling error in the addendum.
Second. Is there a second?
Mr. Chapman, did you have any issues or questions?
No, I guess to clarify, your
Yeah.
motion would be to accept the changes to the minutes with the exception of the first sentence, which we would want to revert to what was in the original minutes, as well as the spelling correction in the 3rd paragraph.
That's correct.
Any discussion? Mr. Chapman, call the roll, please.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Langner,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Any other discussion? Okay, Mr. Gallagher, call the roll on the approving the consent agenda with the amendment.
So this would be the consent agenda for
That
tonight.
was.
Huh?
I might ask if there's any discussion. Tonight's consent agenda. Because that we just approved last time.
Okay,
So I guess I move to approve tonight's consent agenda, which includes the meeting minutes from October 21st and the expense report, or the expense approval report for tonight.
Second. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yeah.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Langner,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Okay. As far as mayor's message, I got.
No, public comments, sir. Agenda item 5.
Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself.
I'm
sorry.
6.
Is there any public comment? Anybody that'd like to speak tonight? Come forward. I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself.
That's okay. I don't know where you want me to stand.
We got a short table this time.
Short table? My name is Brenda Callaghan, 36-year resident of Pleasant Valley, and I would like to take this opportunity to address a couple of things that happened at the last meeting, and I was not here. Specifically to David Slater and Chris Cronk. And that is, what goes on at my house is none of your business. You understand that? Don't laugh, Chris. You spent quite some time at my house yourself, sitting on the patio.
When we were doing your fence inspection,
At visiting.
finding your property line.
Oh, yes, keep it up, keep it up. Because I can tell more. You got it? You're treading on thin ice, and I'm not going to be intimidated by you people. You got it?
Freedom of speech.
You stated that that an employee had left a meeting with you and came directly to the Callaghan home. And you, in the meeting, you might as well have given my address. Could be a very legal problem. Okay? What goes on at my house is my business. Not yours, not Chris Cronk's, nobody. Unless I'm doing something illegal. And then I would hope our police chief would come and address that issue, not you. The said employee that you said came immediately to my house is a friend of mine. She also is a local business owner. And I am negotiating doing business with the woman. In case any of you don't know that, Jen Gallagher came to my house. She does HVAC work. I am negotiating work with her. I try to support small businesses within my community. And I will never apologize for that. Okay? You also stated that the employee in question had posted something on the internet that you thought was Mickey Mouse.
Correct.
Well, David, and you don't know where the information came from? It was in an open meeting of which I was here. The entire board voted to post that position. I shared that post with several other people. Most municipalities would welcome their constituents letting other people know that they have an opening within their organization. But it doesn't appear to be that way here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Nobody has.
Mr. Mayor, isn't there a 2-minute limit?
That's fine. Okay. You also stated in your conversation with Ms. Olsham here that on the 21st, you didn't know how people were getting the information about the cost of dog kennels and about salary schedules and so forth. Well, you know what? It was all attached to an agenda that was picked up by everyone that attended the meeting. So it is public information. So why you're getting all upset about it, nobody seems to understand. Lastly, I want to encourage, on tape, I want to encourage all residents to get involved with the city. Typically, you would all be encouraging people to come, get active, get involved. Mr. Slater stated that he was hired by the city to stop some, and I will quote, Mickey Mouse stuff going on in our city, end of quote. Some of the stuff that I see taking place in these chambers is very questionable and very borderline on whether they're Mickey Mouse or something worse. So I'm encouraging all residents that are watching this, all residents sitting in the gallery, get involved, know what's going on with your city, know what's going on with your money, and make sure that you're involved. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Alderman.
Thank you.
Is there any other public comment?
All right, guys, thank you. I just had a couple things I wanted to clarify from the last board meeting's comments, concerning David Slater. I just want to clarify things on his timeline. So first of all, he launched these threats and these accusations and lies and inaccuracies against me in the previous meeting, and I'd like to correct them for the record so you guys understand fully what happened in this situation of my Facebook post, which I felt was not inappropriate. And I do have proof of timestamp of you guys made a decision to move to table or advertise the position for the HR director at 7:20, according to the video time lapse. That my Facebook post was posted at 7:20, right after you guys tabled it to post it publicly. So I didn't post it before the meeting. I didn't post it days before it happened. I posted it with that, and I directed it to the city website, which is where you guys have jobs posted, right? I wasn't trying to tell them, hey, come talk to me or go talk to Debbie, you know. I told them to go to the city council or city hall website and apply for the thing. So I just want to clarify that. I got that information from an open meeting, sitting right here behind David, at the same time you guys said, hey, we need to put this out for people, okay? So I also want to talk about that I received a call 4 days after I posted that on Friday from Chief Knudsen, explaining that it had been requested from David that I take that post down because it makes us look Mickey Mouse. Okay, and I think at first, I did tell Chief, sure, I'll take it down. But the further thinking about it and looking at our policy for social media, I didn't feel that I was in the wrong for what I posted. So I waited for the weekend. I came up Monday when class was canceled from medic school, and I wanted to talk to David Slater, and I was trying to be conversational with, see what his really thing was, and I felt that he was cold, distant, and attacked me in his verbal responses that in my line of work, if I don't follow commands, I could get killed or I could kill somebody else. I hope you all know it's in my best interest, furthering my education to be a higher EMS provider is not for that to happen. And if we're on a fire ground or if I'm on a scene to take care of your life, guaranteed my utmost job will to protect. Okay, I will take orders from that man or anyone that is ahead of me on any of my calls that I ever walk onto. 100%, that is my will. So I take them saying that endangered somebody's life over a Facebook post that I felt fell within our policy, that it wasn't wrong. And when I approached him on Monday, in the 2 minutes we talked, I asked him if he wanted it down to give me a letter from himself or the attorneys. And he told me I wouldn't get that, and I'm glad. But I also asked him why, and we didn't really get an explanation. So we left, and I found out he had a conversation with my chief. Chief and I talked about it. I talked with Patrick. We come to a conclusion that I took it down with a document that I've asked to be put in my file, and if any of you guys want a copy of that, I'll be glad to give it, stating how it felt that it was a violation of my First Amendment right, which last meeting, Dave stood right here in front of you and said that he agreed that that was a violation of my First Amendment right. And I thought this was all put to bed on Tuesday until he come up and started saying that Tuesday after that letter was written, that I went over to the Callaghan's house. That's not what happened. Tuesday, I actually went home and I talked to Myrma about my concerns with this situation. Because I'm like, look, I want the best for this city. I love this city. I love working for this city. And I just want you guys to know, my post was not anything to be attacking or persuading anybody, but to find someone, because we didn't have an HR director. So that was the reason that post. And I wanted to just clarify the points that were said wrong in the last meeting from Mr. Slater to make sure the timeline was correct. That's what I wanted to get at. So on the last thing I want to say is people sprinkling violations and then threatening my job with a Facebook post, one in which I take dearly here, is very embarrassing, and it's very frustrating for me to show respect to someone that you guys want us to do. When you guys say we want to build a team together, build a police department and a fire department and a dispatch and a city council to work together, building walls where we have to call him for every movement is discouraging, because you guys, we all have to work together, including you. And it's frustrating to think that when we want to go by and talk to dispatch about a call we went on and what we could maybe do better with communication, what could help them, or you know, stuff like that didn't happen before we started visiting with each other, and even with PD. And I have for reference a call a couple of days ago. We had a lady that we needed help lifting her. She was a larger lady. We called for PD. It was great. One of police chief's officers came on scene. We asked him what we needed of him, and he helped us assist that patient. And I want to continue to have that relationship. But if we're building walls where we can't communicate, so when they know, hey, we're calling because we probably really need something, it's going to be hard to have that, especially on the side of being a fire and EMS, because you guys know there's only 2 of us. And if your house catches on fire, there's 2 of us that are coming to knock on the door and hopefully be able to get you out before anything goes wrong, and then protect you and your neighbors' places in that. And then we rely heavily on our community to know, hey, my neighbor's house doesn't look very good, right? So it's the same way. If PD drives around during the day and night, they need to know some of the signs to look for. Hey, that doesn't smell right. What are we looking for? What are we, you know, those communications happen through us being friends outside of the workplace. So that's all I wanted to say. I appreciate you guys giving me the time, but I just wanted you to know. And once again, what I do at the Callaghan's house, we are friends. Patrick worked with them years ago at DST, and it is what it is. I have no problem going and visiting anybody in this town, because why not? We all gotta be friends. And you guys know I like to get along with everybody. I'll do anything for anybody. I'll give you the shirt off my back. So I appreciate your time, and that's all I wanted to let you guys know.
I got one question. What was the serious phone call I was supposed to have had with the chief?
Not you. Phone call.
You said I had a phone.
I had a phone call after David
I
Slater.
have not.
No, not you. Me.
I have not talked to you either.
That's not what I'm saying. I said, after Slater and I talked Monday, all right, over the situation with the Facebook post, later he had a conversation with Chief Knudsen, and Chief Knudsen talked to me about it, not you. It had nothing to do with it. You're right.
Hey,
Yeah, so, thank you.
anybody else got a comment? Okay, is there anything from our city attorney? Don't look like it is. For his mayor's comment, I got several things. Number one, we had a situation here in the city last week. I want to commend our police chief on the way he handled it without interference with anybody else trying to tell him what his job is. My opinion is he did an excellent job, and I want to see him given the recognition for what he did. Thank you, Chief. And the other thing, I want you all to know that we voted them all. I was raised in the hills where I was told, if you didn't vote, you cannot complain. So if you want to complain, get out and vote. I don't give a hoot who you vote for, but just vote. Now, that's basically all I got to say. And if anybody else wants to add to that, they can. I want to know how our legal fees are doing, so I'm asking Mr. Slater to comment on the legal fees.
I broke them down for this year, they tied to the actual expenses. There's a couple of areas that we will fix going forward, but here's a breakdown to the best of my knowledge of reading the bills. And when we talk about Mickey Mouse, we've got, you'll see that on here, the records requests and sunshine violations, and you'll want to take a look at those. And then also, if you notice, the attorney showing up at the meetings was very expensive. We're trying to make things so that it's more professional, and that is one of the reasons. I've also included this one. Remember, this is not out of the city's pocket, but it's going to tell you how much the lawsuits have cost us, and yeah, that makes its way back. It's not whole. That's why you share the risk. But again, when the testimony happens, I think everybody in this room will understand what I'm talking about, because I might just be going off a hunch, but it's a hunch with pretty good feel that things are happening up here that probably would be better served if people just stay in their zones, and that's why I appreciate the council coming up and saying that, oh, on the backside of the general ledger, those are the transactions. The council allowing that, the access to be limited, and that will, once the Mickey Mouse is gone, I lift that thing up in a heartbeat if I were y'all. But until then, it's just costing the city a lot of money to burn you. Take a look.
Mr. David?
Yeah.
Do we send every sunshine request to the city attorney?
Okay, so when a sunshine request happens, the attorney general contacts our city attorney, and then they work through it with them. And it's the same thing, if you'll see the request for records on there, that's with the lawsuits. We've got Murmur handling it, that's on that second sheet I gave you, but our attorney needs to work through that with the Murmur people. Okay?
I'm sorry, I don't think that was my question. My question was not regarding complaints, but regarding if a citizen requests documentation, if an alderman requests documentation, if somebody requests information from the city that generates a sunshine request, does each of those sunshine requests get reviewed by the attorney? Because that 4,700 or something.
I would have to ask him, but I know once it goes to the attorney general, if it's filed with the attorney general, it does get reviewed by our attorney.
I'm sorry, completely ignore complaints for right now. I'm talking about if any citizen requests a document, if somebody requests body cam footage, if somebody
A
requests.
records request? No, that does not.
Okay.
That does not, but we will collect the fees up front so that those expenses are not incurred by the taxpayers.
So those stopped going through the attorney? They did about a year ago, we ordered it to go through there.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, that's why I was asking, because if that's not the policy now, then great, we save some money. But if it is still the policy to send every sunshine request through the attorney, then.
Okay, Mr. Chapman, do we send everything through the
That
attorney?
is the policy.
Okay, then we do.
Okay.
Very good.
And that policy was created by the mayor back in October, November, December timeframe of 23.
Very good. Anything else? Thank you.
All I know is the sunshine request has to go before the attorney, our city attorney, which is costing the city a whole bunch of money.
That's exactly our point. I'm sorry. That's our point. Not every sunshine request has to go through the attorney. We have rules of what documents are open, what documents are closed. We have a city clerk, a custodian of records, who is able to make that determination on a high percentage of those regular sunshine requests that come in. I'm not going to throw out a number. I'm guessing it's upwards of 80% or more. There might be some sunshine requests that are more tricky, that they could be considered a closed record, or it could be pending legal action. And releasing those documents would require some additional consultation with the city attorney.
Well,
Mr.
each
Smith.
sunshine
I'm sorry,
request
Mr.
right
Smith.
now goes before our city attorney. He has to investigate them, and then in investigating them, it costs the city money.
Mr. Smith, are you able to hear me?
Huh?
Are you able to hear the words that I'm saying?
What, you're saying that we don't have to have a city attorney investigating, but we do.
I'm talking run-of-the-mill standard sunshine request. Somebody comes and asks about the cost of housing dogs. That is a simple request that any citizen could make. That sort of request should not, on its name and surface, require the attorney to be like, oh yeah, this isn't a closed record. Let me bill 0.15 hours to the city in order to tell the city that it's an open record.
Yeah.
But that's what's happening today. Every sunshine request that comes in gets sent to the city attorney because you told them to.
Because that's what it's required to do.
It's not what's required.
It
We
is
don't
required.
have to send every sunshine request to our city attorney.
That's right, it goes to our city attorney.
I don't think you're hearing me. Okay, I'm sorry. Go
I
ahead.
I would like to make a comment on that as well, that one, that's 100% true from the training that we've done as aldermen. I know we've provided several free trainings. Absolutely not every sunshine request has to go before an attorney, especially simple ones. I mean, you can look up your lot size for your house just so that you can know where you can build things. I mean, simple things like that definitely don't need to go before an attorney. And I think in general, if we're discussing this, it's really bad practice to make it that we do bill our attorneys for every sunshine request, because the point of the sunshine law, the reason it is named that way, the sunshine request, is to make it so it's accessible to the public. If we're trying to guilt our constituents and the public from making requests about public information, that's their information. They own that information. We work for them. If we're trying to guilt our constituents into not making sunshine requests because it's racking up costs for the city, that's crazy. And it goes completely against everything that Missouri has tried to do to make the public have access to what their government does.
So, you know how I'm the custodian of records for the court? I get open requests and closed requests, nothing goes to an attorney. He's the custodian for the city, and so he can answer 95% of the requests without an attorney because of the rules you have in place for just a normal city clerk. And like same thing for a court. That's what they're saying.
Well, so far, the state stats.
No.
Any sunshine court request goes before our attorney and he investigates them. Until the state tells us differently
It's
and
not
tells
in the
our
state.
attorney differently, that's the way the law states.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, I move that we direct our custodian of records to not send every single sunshine request to the city attorney in order to save the city a little bit of money. Allow our city clerk and custodian of records the leeway to interact with the attorneys as he needs to in order to fulfill individual requests, and abolish the policy of sending every sunshine request to the city attorney.
Every sunshine request
Second.
goes to the attorney.
Second.
That's the way the state states it. So that's the way it's going to be.
Why wouldn't we ask our attorney first before we abolish them?
There's clear legal precedent for this. This is common knowledge. We went to the city trainings on sunshine rules, on how aldermen interact with the city, with the people, and the legality of it. We have the documentation. All of that's publicly available. Do we want to send and incur another cost to our attorney for them to say, oh yeah, Matthew Chapman, the custodian of records, is authorized by state law to respond to records requests? That's already done. That's the most established law in sunshine law.
Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Slater?
Yeah, a lot of these sunshine requests can come directly to staff, but we send them to the Attorney General. When the Attorney General gets something with all this, I'll call it again, Mickey Mouse going on up there, you want to get your attorney involved or it's going to cost you in the long run. Okay, and if those things would come to staff instead of to Jeff City, we could probably get them. If they weren't satisfied, then you send them to staff. But if you guys go away from the attorney, that's your own call, but I would heavily advise
They're
against
not
I
saying
can-
they're not saying the sunshine violations, they're saying the sunshine request, which is just records request. It's another name for records request.
But the ones with the dogs and everything,
Is a records request.
mhm.
That's what they're talking about, not the sunshine violations. The records request right now, he has told them to send to the attorney. If I ask for
Lot
all the
size of my
wage,
house.
yes,
I
it's going to the attorney right now.
I believe that didn't go, those last requests that Mr. Chapman had, his message didn't go to the Attorney General. Did
Not
Jeff
attorney
say?
general, attorney, just the city attorney.
No.
I thought they were submitting a sunshine request to the Attorney General's office.
Yeah,
That's the way I
I
read
think
your
we're talking about
report.
different things.
We are.
Okay,
We have sunshine complaints and we have sunshine requests. Requests are received at the city all the time, frequently. Sunshine complaints are allegations made against a public body or a public entity that should be complying with the sunshine rules, indicating that they are not, alleging that there are rules, there are statutes being violated. And the Missouri Attorney General is the one who is charged with correcting that activity, investigating, requesting additional information, making determinations, that's a separate process than sunshine requests.
You're right there when you said, investigate, see if they're being mishandled, and we're not doing our job. That is why our attorney fees are high, because they got to investigate. The Attorney General says that we have to investigate them. It has to go before our attorney.
I'm sorry, I think I have a
Therefore,
motion in a second.
the
on
state
this.
sets
Yeah.
a mandate.
We have a motion.
If you want to change the state law, I would suggest you run for a state office and do it.
Okay. We have a motion and a second on that.
Until then, we're going to abide by what the Attorney General tells us
We
for to
we
do.
have to vote on it, Mr. Mayor. There's a motion been made and seconded. Yes. Do we have to address?
We have to do what the Attorney
No,
General.
we have a motion before there. Then we'll have a discussion.
Pat made a motion,
Yes.
and we got a second.
And Councilwoman Olson
To
seconded it.
what?
To not have records requests go to the attorney. Basically, is that it?
Not
That's it
to,
in a nutshell,
not to
yeah.
go before the city attorney?
Correct, records requests.
Request.
Not the complaints, but the requests.
Not the complaints.
Not the complaints.
No, we cannot vote against what the state tells us we got to do.
No,
I don't
we're
think you're understanding us, and I'm really losing my patience on this. We're not talking about complaints. Send the complaints off to the city
not.
attorney.
Just like the state says.
No issues.
Everything is a whole different thing.
It's different.
It's different. We're talking sunshine requests. Standard, run-of-the-mill, somebody asked what the salary schedule is.
I think just to continue on with the meeting, that we have to take the vote, and then the mayor, if he wants to, can veto it, but we do have to take a vote.
There again, if you ask them what somebody's salary is, it's public information.
Right. that's right.
Therefore,
We don't need to send it to the attorney, city attorney. If they ask for it there, we don't need
And
to
there
send it
again,
to the city
you
attorney.
brought the city attorney to see if
I'm sorry, Mayor, can I speak?
No,
Ms. Linda just brought up an incredibly great point. You don't have to submit a sunshine request, just go ask city staff. That is a sunshine request. Our government is open because of the sunshine law. You don't have to use the magic word sunshine request in order to make it a sunshine request. They are records requests of city government, of public governmental bodies, are sunshine requests by nature. You don't have to use the words. If you go up and say, Matthew Chapman, can I have the salary schedule? That's a sunshine request. I didn't say I sunshine requested.
they're right there. Anybody can come up and ask the city clerk here, what is so-and-so, what is Mr. Knuchin's salary is? That's public record. That's what people can do. That's not a sunshine request.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That is when you're talking about their salary.
It's not a sunshine violation, it's a sunshine
Sorry.
request.
You talk Mickey Mouse.
And when you put the word sunshine in front of it, it goes to the Attorney General.
No, it doesn't.
I'm not gonna get schooled by you, I'm sorry.
And the whole, if you ask for what their records are.
Okay, we ready to go?
Mr. Mayor, they've had a motion in a
I'm
second.
sorry, Ms. Linda.
Okay, we got a motion.
Yes, a motion by Mr. Gallagher, a second by
We got a
Councilwoman
motion
Olson.
in the second.
Yes.
Councilman Gallagher.
Chapman, call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Jacoby,
No.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Langner,
Yes.
Olson,
Yes.
passed.
Now, what's the motion for?
That was to allow the city clerk to review standard records requests, and those would not be sent to the city attorney for review.
Okay.
Okay.
Any Alderman comment?
Yes. I would like to remind the public that we have 5 vacancies on the Ethics Committee, and we need people to fill these spots. If you are interested or would like information, please contact the city clerk. That's it.
Any other Alderman comment? Mr. Gallagher?
Yeah, I've got a very short prepared statement. Our minutes on October 7th were adjusted just tonight to include the following phrase: "The Board of Aldermen has not set parameters on who would be on this interview committee. Alderman Moss insisted that the Personnel Chair, City Clerk Chapman, and City Administrator Slater be the interview committee. Personnel Committee agreed," end quote. Recognizing that the full board did not make a motion to change or set an interview team does not grant the Personnel Committee permission to exceed their statutory powers and create their own, including an alderwoman in the interview and excluding the Assistant City Clerk. Section 115.030 of Pleasant Valley Code, subsection A, outlines the advisory responsibility of the Personnel Committee. And subsection C directs the Personnel Committee of the proper process for effecting changes, creating a report and providing it to the Board of Aldermen for a motion to be made. Further, use of the word committee and interview committee as found in our meeting minutes conflicts with the committees created by Pleasant Valley statute in 115.020. I continue to implore the Personnel Committee to alter its course and abide by Pleasant Valley statute and Missouri state law. And just to tack on to the things that I did not expect to have to explain tonight is my choice of friends. I've been friends with John Callaghan since 2012. We worked not only at the same company, not just on the same department, but on the same team. We had 6 technicians. I had just transitioned out of an internship and was starting my first, what I call big boy job. And John was a trusted mentor, someone who was knowledgeable and experienced on that team. And we formed a relationship during our 4 years of working together. To use that friendship as a political token in front of the public is weird. So I didn't think I'd have to explain my friendships, but here we are. 12 years later, still friends with John. Thank you, man. That's it. Thank you.
Any other comment?
Again, remind you about that. I hope everyone on this board will come out to the mayor's tree lighting at 1 hour. Cookies and cocoa and Father Christmas and the Grace Mart Children's Choir will be singing. And so just come out and have a good time, as we kick off the season. And then, and heaven forbid, I shouldn't say anything, that if it's snowed and the public works is out cleaning our streets and that, then we will do it that Friday the 13th. And the next day, and then we can really watch saying, and Santa's coming tomorrow, because we have Father Christmas, we don't have Santa. And so, anyway, so urge everybody to come out and tell your family, friends, come out and meet your neighbors.
Anybody else got any comment? Okay, Mr. Chapman, you got anything from a report from administration?
I provided a written report. The only thing I would point out, the sewer CD that matured, we did, let me say renew, we reinvested that in a new CD. The rate was 4% at the time. We were able to lock in 4.1, so a little better, a little bit helps, but that's all I have. Unless there are questions.
Any questions for Mr. Chapman? Okay, Mr. Cron, in public works, you got anything to report to the board?
I provided a written report to you all. I didn't know if anybody had any questions.
Anybody got any questions for him? Thank you, sir. Chief Knutson from Fire Department, you got anything to report?
I did not have a written report this time. I would just remind everybody and let everybody know that Santa on the fire truck will be Saturday, December 14th. So let everybody know. We'll get it on the board, I'm sure, on the signboard.
Okay.
It starts at 9.
It starts at 9, so yeah, we'll, can't say when we're gonna get to your street, so We're usually down about noon, so somewhere between 9 and noon, you can expect the fire truck to come by.
Chief, I'm gonna start again, maybe as Mr. Slater and everybody else, can you call, I suggest maybe you call the news media, Channel 4 or whatever, to see if they could come out and cover. Say this is 61, you know, especially then to counteract about us being on the news for an unfortunate situation. Even though it turned out, see if we can.
Good idea.
Anybody else? Before I call on Chief McGinley, I'm gonna suggest to the board that we give him a proclamation plaque commending him on the way he handled our city thing last weekend. It could have turned very deadly and very bad for the whole city. I want to commend him again on his well handling. Now, you can speak.
I don't have a formal anything to give you. My car report will be next meeting. But just so everybody's aware, what he's talking about is that we had a barricaded hostage situation last Monday. Clay County TAC team came in and did a very, very good job along with Black County. So it was pretty hairy there for a couple minutes, but and safely, and guys in custody and pending more formal charges. That's all I have.
Anybody got any questions for him? Ms. Everhart from Court Clerk, you got anything to report?
I gave you a report.
Yeah.
Alderman Jacoby, you got anything from personnel?
Yes, I do. For the fire department, I have an approval to hire Jackson Stephanie. Volunteer firefighter at $10 per call, pending background check, drug screen, and physical.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Chapman, call the roll, please.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Kobe,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Langman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
I also have an approval of the annual rate adjustment for Liam Hendry, firefighter EMT, paid grade 100 from step 3, $15.90 per hour to step 4 at $16.22 per hour, effective 11/10/24.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Chapman, call the roll, please.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Kobe,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Langman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
And then for the court, I have an acceptance of part-time court clerk Peggy Doss, resignation, effective 11/4/24.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Chapman, call the roll, please.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Langman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Also for the court, I have approval to hire Whitney Weber, part-time court clerk, pay grade 110, $18.57 per hour, pending background check, drug screen and physical.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah. What step is 1857 per hour?
4.
That's step 4?
Yes.
Okay, does the motion need to indicate that?
It probably should, but it didn't on this paper.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yes, it should.
Okay,
Yeah, that's, I noted that, so.
okay,
In
awesome.
the minutes it will read so forth.
Okay, thank you.
And this is my court night clerk. So usually I bring in another court administrator. My Sugar Creek clerk that had been coming took a job for an attorney and it's a conflict.
Still a one-step raise.
It's not a raise.
It's not a raise.
We're hiring her.
We're just
Uh,
hiring.
It's not a raise, it's a new hire.
Oh, the new arm, okay.
Step forward.
I
Any other
seconded. No, I seconded.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Mr. Chapman, call the roll, please.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Langner,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
And then we have an approval of a loss prevention manual, corrected salary schedule topic. But our HR person isn't here.
Alderman Jacoby, the ordinance, there's an ordinance that the board can vote on later on for the salary schedule updated.
Okay.
And the loss prevention, that's just for your information. It's not something the board accepts.
While we're on Personnel Committee, I move that we enter closed section pursuant to 610-021 subsection 3 to discuss this letter that City Administrator David Slater mentioned at the last meeting.
Second?
Any discussion? Mr. Chapman, call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Jacoby,
What is this? Just that letter that he wrote?
I mean, I'll read the minutes real quick, just to, I could not talk about this 2 weeks ago because Georgia Fox had not been officially hired. While doing the background checks, I discovered that an anonymous letter had been sent to the Board of Election Commissioners concerning Mrs. Fox, who is now their former employee. It would be hard to have included information if the letter was not generated internally. Fortunately, I asked all of our department heads about the letter, and they all denied having knowledge about its origination. It is public information that we have 3 lawsuits concerning personnel that are pending. I have no desire to have one sent come from our city in the form of a settlement, but I fully intend to find out who was behind this letter during testimony. So I'd like to go into closed session to discuss hiring, firing, discipline, and promotion regarding this letter.
Nope. Yes.
Scarborough, Page,
Yes.
Langner,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
I know. Sorry.
I had the same way. I'm just like, everything is all on top of each other.
Saturday night to.
Slater, join us in closed session.
That was not part of the motion.
Pardon?
That was not part of the motion.
Who do you want to be in closed session?
I would like to have Mr. Slater in closed session.
That's not part.
I'm sorry, that wasn't part of my motion
Why?
because it pertains to.
You're gonna talk about me.
And that's right, it pertains to him.
Then if we invite him to closed session, he would be the first person that we have levied disciplinary action on where he was given a stance within closed session to speak in defense of himself. We have to take minutes, so if you want me to take minutes, I can, or if somebody else would like to, or, I mean, we have a custodian of records who's supposed to be in closed sessions with us.
I believe standard practice is to have the city clerk in the closed session take minutes. So that would be my understanding.
So she told me about 30 minutes.
Okay. You get maybe one more.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know what was happening, I understood.
I need one more bit.
Are you gonna put traffic on it before they fill it in, and see if it gets compacted?
No, it's happening right now. We gotta pull out 8 inches of rock from it. And then it will get compacted by the contractor. And then it will be filled, most likely with concrete and all. Just float. That done numerous times instead of the asphalt. Yeah, I think I should put traffic on it, just to start.
Even with that spring underneath there too, you think? Really? I would figure they would drive on it and get that all compacted and see if that.
It's very well compacted, the way they got to put the rock in it with this.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
All right. Just give you a see it done again.
Oh, we need it. And that was a joint decision between myself, city engineer, and water department behind it. Road district. Contractor recommendation.
The roads and water.
This is.
Job well done.
I got 7 stairs, I really didn't do it.
Tuesday, you got me awkward, right?
Check that flag for you.
I was like, hey,
I
come
just
help.
said, you made a call. You knew.
Yeah.
You phoned a friend, right?
Actually, well, I'm saying.
We came by after the cruise, that beam was fired. They
Yeah.
wanted to keep it quick.
Yeah.
Somebody like that.
Must have been the Platte County guys, left like 6, Arizona was picked up, left like 6 quick trip pizzas
Oh.
in the box.
Yeah.
After they left. Really nice weekend.
Go to America, so.
There's 2 of them, yes. The top two houses, the whole thing.
That was great.
I
And
think
you
that's
know,
what
quick trip
my-
might have brought it up because after we came and checked.
I'll snoop for you. I can't find anything on the case
There's nothing on case net,
Years ago,
but
they
he's
said
never.
all street signs will be out.
I want to wear the handmade smell shirt.
So.
That's very
Done.
Winfrey for stand on the fire truck.
And I'm.
Did you get that? Did you just pick that?
That's what we need.
I didn't have it on my calendar, so I'm like, oh, probably should put that on my calendar.
So they push it back.
Yeah.
Close.
I know, I looked at it, I'm like, well, that's our only weekend to do it. All right, cool. I like it, I'm good with it.
Do you have?
Push that way forward.
Fill that out there.
Depends on what appliance you want to fix.
So whichever one's closest.
So.
Where did she end up?
Oh. There, I do. They're out of Raytown. I have to call, Shauna and get their number. How did that? You're just not spinning?
They're saying.
Does that follow them the rest of their life? So.
halfway through.
Oh, sitting.
So there are times that.
Rain that pulling hose out.
Water in there? I bet it just flooded everything.
So I just watched, pull out the hose.
So.
Yeah.
So it drained a long time.
Even this mud shop from his
But
wife.
still, I said it was in it, and they tried to run.
Nothing like coming up, so I guess either it's content.
There are activities.
Usually.
I'll get you a name, but it's Clark's Appliances in Raytown.
Usually.
They're who we've used in the past.
There's not one.
FBI number track.
Cannot.
Liberty, or.
Mr. Bella, they put that, they added, was it Tuesday?
Oh,
Clear
Heart.
Heart.
Right in that two little patches on it.
Well, I was like, why didn't
Here
they,
in town, I don't know if we have anybody here.
No.
why they didn't like file that?
Probably because we're keeping it naturally. Like that way it fits her mouth better if it does on its own. Hi, Chief. I was like,
Four children.
yeah, I know Clark's Appliances work on them, so not you're in the shopping for a new one eventually. So we just purchased, one of those LG combination washer dryer all-in-ones. I know, but it's great. You put it in, within 2 hours, you have an entire load of laundry done. Wash and dry, there ain't no change. So mom had a GE one before the house burnt down, and she had it for about 2 months. And Johnny Housen's got one, he's had it for several months. Last I talked to him, he was like, it's nice. But you gotta think about it, like, this is a new technology, it's been over in Europe and all that. You know, and on ships for a long time. We bought one for mom downstairs for the space, and so far it's been productive. We've only had the LG one for a couple of weeks, but.
I'm gonna make that top load washer. Never had to do.
So are you not doing
Yeah.
your budget conversation?
Ours was that way before it finally,
But dude, on
said, I'm
finance,
tired.
anything, just tell me.
But I didn't treat it with respect, like every time I knew it would get a little heavier this
I mean, it's not like they have to finalize it, you know.
So the top load, does it spin at all?
We do.
It will spin, it just won't drain your washing machine? It just won't drain now, or your machine is broken?
I don't think that's.
No, this is a surprise.
Oh, this is the one here? Oh, the one out in the decon room, or the one in the pump station? You know, I noticed last time when I washed my bedding, it didn't wring it out, like it was super soupy.
I don't, it's not what
I want to do some more work on that. I want to extend that out to years, not just 5.
I can look and see if there's appliance repair shop in town, you know of anybody?
No, but if you find one, let me know, because I might
Is
have
it coming in 2025?
appliance repair.
I don't know, we've never replaced it.
I thought it was one at your home church.
Why do you need to replace this?
Cannot. Why?
Do you guys at the fire station do the candy bags, or how is that done now? If you need help, please let me know.
Yeah, we always need help. For the fire department.
Seriously, let me know when you're gonna
We
do it.
usually
When I
do,
send out my capital improvements,
A week or 2 weeks before, it should be the end of November,
And
but
so do you.
it might be the mid-November since Thanksgiving falls.
But,
Falls this year. It might, should be next week.
We don't have any
well, we
street
could
signs that
do
have
it like
December.
That weekend, that week.
Built to MoDOT standard.
Well, last year we did it during the week, we didn't do it on the weekends.
yourself, you just
Did we do it at
wanted
night?
to see.
Yeah, we did it in the
If I was
evening,
all
yeah.
about, written like the, I feel left out.
All you need.
Yeah, we probably do it the 6th or the 7th of December.
You're under fire right now.
Do
Bring
you
your
need,
grandkids.
no, I'm not bringing the grandkids.
So 3 weeks ago.
Adoptions, hopefully.
Do you need donations?
Every other state has it.
We'll never say no, because this year the candy was only 25% off instead of 50% off.
And all of it's.
I went up to.
I mean, I have it where I can look on YouTube TV.
$5.
Really?
But they-
The little bags?
No, they were decent sized bags, but they were,
Hopefully get
they had them up by the register and shopping carts, you know,
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, well, I'll take this shopping cart.
Yeah. Well, Chris and I went up there at 6 o'clock. Change the clock on Friday morning, and like they only had like 3 pallets, and that was it.
Where?
At Walmart. But I mean, we bought big bags of candy this time. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, so
No, you're.
I think we'll be okay.
No, I
I
didn't
mean,
put
Let me
this
know,
report.
let me know if I can fill in,
I
you
did.
know, some of the spot for needed candy.
I
I'd
was
be
gonna
happy to
put
do
it-
that. Santa on the truck has meant a lot to my kid and my
I won't
grandkid, I mean,
mention
so,
that word.
Yeah,
you
this
know,
will be our
as long as it,
4th year.
as long as it keeps going, then if you guys need help, I'll be more than happy to help.
Well,
out with
See,
it.
John, I think he fit a Santa suit.
Yeah.
He,
Yes!
Bring your own
Listen,
suit.
About 3 or 4 years
Hey,
ago,
you
I
don't
had
have
to
to
buy
buy
one.
We'll come and check your blood pressure every
By
day.
now, I have
For a month if you come and be Santa this year.
Yeah.
We had a Grinch last year. John bought an entire Grinch outfit and chased Santa around on one of the trucks. We did have, one of the houses we were trick or treated at, back on, Oak Street behind us. Or like, oh, you guys are with this? And we're like, yeah, stand on the fire truck. It's gonna have mission. Yeah. They're like, are we ever gonna see a fire truck? I'm like, look, I said the same thing last year. Can we see a
It's
fire
always
truck?
right.
I know. I was like, we'll let Chief know. And I'm not making this up. But they're like, would be fun to see a fire truck every month.
I don't, why didn't we talk about that last
Yeah,
year?
Scott shot me down.
The order.
Yeah, we didn't.
Did they give you any?
It's the majority of the city gets the fire truck, whatever.
There was a big
It's like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said.
Anyways, I was like, we'll let them know. If not, come knock on the door. Yeah, but that takes a
I
while.
was gonna say, they didn't split, they weren't smart enough to split it up, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's
because
what I heard.
it's fire truck.
They said it used to take all day.
So,
to get
so,
out of the city.
so why did we start
So,
Silver
yeah, we did the reserve rigs, so we do,
The
there's
side
4
was
rigs
so-
go out.
Yes.
No, 5.
Yeah.
With, Glen Air.
Yeah,
Right.
well,
Brookside and
no.
everything.
4, yeah,
Four.
4 goes out, the 44
So there's
just
four.
drives around and plays
That's
music
right,
for the
that's right,
PA.
that's right. So we got 4 that.
It sometimes runs stuff, but now that we have Chief's
You have
buggy.
4 Santas?
Yep. Now that we have Chief has a buggy, he keeps the extra, and then we can radio to the North Pole, and he'll bring us stuff.
When you get low.
We get low, and then we get
That's a good
stuffed
idea.
animals from PetSmart. You kids don't know that they're getting dog toys, but they're great. And they have the year on them too.
So do you do stuff animals?
Yeah, because PetSmart
Well, the
donates.
ones-
Last year
so
they didn't
we
get
had-
donated
so I
as
had,
much, but they usually donate like
2,500.
6 or 7 giant bags of
Yeah, but
stuffed
we-
animals every year.
But we end up, we run out
Yeah.
because we end up giving them to every kid, and so we end up, we run out of them
Run out of them pretty quick, but
Because
the
we
kids
also
have a
have
blast
to
with
order
them.
the
I haven't seen any shredded in front yards, so I'm pretty sure kids still hold on to
So
them.
there's a little bit of cost.
So you
for
do
that.
just small ones?
No, they're big.
But you take any size, right?
Yeah, we'll take any size, yeah.
Yeah, they are large.
Yeah, Squishmallows.
So
There.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, we haven't run out of any candy for the years
It
I've been a
always
part
just
of
seems,
it.
always seems to work out.
Just gets by. Now, what was the year before? We
Year
had a
before.
lot of extra
We
candy.
had a lot left over.
That was COVID year, yeah. The COVID year got a little, whew, we're diabetics, so. I think we took a tote to Children's Mercy Hospital. I think we took some to the nursing home. Which is probably not the greatest thing, but hey, it'll boost revenue.
Get their insulin.
Oh, his sugar's way too high. What are these writers under here?
Yeah.
Have you gotten stuffed animals?
Not yet.
We don't, and we end up they always come in
I
at
was gonna do.
The last minute.
last minute, so,
For that, there's no orders. I don't.
but, yeah,
Hey.
we get hundreds of them.
So this is what we did last year. We set up the tables and we dump all the candy out, and then there's people open bags up, and then they go down and just kind of a couple handfuls and take it down there, and then they close them up with a sticker, and I think we stapled last year. That actually worked really well. So,
I remember
that was some of the people.
years, of course, when Justin was little and
What I could do is.
there was a lot of, which I guess they don't even do, Oxford doesn't even do their bulk candies.
What's going on?
They do that.
By rain.
But there was a lot of that kind of stuff. That was like that's all candy. Was it?
Yeah, they're usually candy bars and stuff.
We're gonna cut my grass slash pick up leaves next Saturday morning.
I got too many leaves, I can't put grass seed down, I gotta take care of my leaves.
So I pick them up, I bag my
I don't
leaves.
remember what I gotta do to
And
get.
then when you run the lawnmower over, it picks up, no, just doesn't.
Yeah.
My compost pile.
And some of them are.
I got 2 leaves for that.
Two separate sizes.
I go about 10 feet
So
after
Mary
it's a
could
bag.
have one, and Sally.
Country you got.
Well, up front we got pinners, and those hold their leaves almost all winter long.
Folder.
So you're dropping them, you know.
Travis
I
tries
got
to
a
come
big
by with
old
his
sycamore
professional
in the
camera.
back
That was the
you
group
know,
from last
each
year.
leaf is
That
this
was our
freaking big.
ambulance. Scott Williams.
Oh, yeah, they're
I think that was
nasty.
his son.
Nuts,
We'll find it.
fuzzy stuff.
David.
Pine maples.
Yeah, so this kid's got a stuffy that we gave him.
No, so I got a
Oh,
walnut
like
tree.
Bears and dinosaurs and dragon, like they're cute
Not a
little.
pin oak, another
Okay.
oak, the
Like
leaves
they're-
are a little different than on the pin oak. but
Okay.
An oak
This
tree.
kid's having to today.
So how
Oh,
many
these
do
two
you
are-
estimate you
Listen,
did?
I'm looking water.
A couple hundred.
No, and I'm
Yeah,
just curious as to
couple
how
hundred.
many people.
Like you said, a lot of times we end up giving, you know, a bag candy and a stuffy. Like this little girl's got a lamb.
What's
Stuffed
the,
or cow, I think it's a cow.
what's the street over there named after the office?
So I think they took stuff out to the.
But yeah, it kind of started out with kids that couldn't have the sugar and things like that. They got a stuffed animal instead. But now it just kind of became
Yeah, I don't know where to
all
put
stuff.
because we don't want to leave them.
Okay.
Their dad, these ladies crack us up. So 4 years ago when Patrick and I first started with this, their dad and mom were there. And the mom couldn't come out, or no, the dad couldn't come out. And so we went in and took pictures and gave him candy. And then this year, the day before, their dad. So they weren't even sure they could come out. Well, then we came in and took photos. Well, then this year they're like, well, we're coming out to you. And so we took a big group photo and sent it to
So
them.
anyway,
They've been to every one of these older ladies, these two ladies right here, for 63 years. They've been to every Santa on the fire truck. They're back up behind us. I can't think of their name right now, but they're sweet as can be.
That's all right.
Yeah, but they're sweet as can be. But the day before, that evening, their dad was down. But they cracked me up, and they were like, you know, we weren't gonna do it, and then we seen it, and they're like, we're gonna do this, and so they waited for us, and then we went in and took photos with them. The whole group got out of the ambulance and took pictures with them.
Was there anything I can do on that? Just like on the phone.
Say that again.
I was like, okay.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
You sure?
Chaz
Yeah.
and Michael.
Go
Guys
ahead,
did get some
yeah.
really good
And then I'll
photos.
jump over Orchard, work east, north of PDR. And then that's the, I'll
Yeah.
jump across the highway.
We talked Thursday at 6, should be just fine.
And then I'll probably jump over to Ravina.
At the library, if it's open, they, you know, they close it to the water over the water library. But it should be fine by then.
So there says AV May, but AV May is not people's Valley.
And nice and bright and shiny. Street name signs.
I know who my Concord is, but I don't,
Get rid of
if
our
there's
old
something
payment.
in the background, I don't know, but.
Hey, I like those. That's how I decipher Kansas City from us. That's how I tell all the new drivers, if you see a new sign, it's not us.
It's not.
Call Kansas City.
Well,
That's how I was
we
taught.
need to bring them up.
Sounds
to-
good.
We do.
Now you're really gonna confuse
be
it.
Yeah,
reflected.
that won't be my saying.
Hey, at
anymore.
least, hey, at
I-
least
I
ours
Thursday,
is
6
gonna
o'clock,
be
okay?
green and not blue like.
Like
Liberty.
Liberty, I don't know, I
So
kinda
yeah,
like
we
the
share
blue.
the same zip code, but we're not gonna share the same street.
That's nice. Hey, wait, if we do them blue, can we build to Liberty?
So we're starting, street stop, sign start. Is it
Did you go?
I don't know if there's any repair shop here.
Situation. I feel like you sit there. I sit there.
Yeah, ours will have,
I don't know,
green
long time,
background.
but I feel like you're just in there. But it's
Light
flowers.
borders.
Yeah, I can ask around, Josh and them usually know people
All
that
this
then
light.
That'll be nice.
And it's the larger size signs.
Good.
I forget.
Hey Jared, I got Paramount, we can watch the
All
Chiefs
the
game.
letters.
I got YouTube TV.
I tried to log into my DirecTV account, so I recorded that on the home. and I didn't log in.
It tells you not today, it's on Paramount. I mean, we have a few more minutes, don't we? They don't, it's play until 7:20.
Is that what you
I
said?
don't always
I
drive
thought it was
the
7:20.
city,
Yeah, I got it on YouTube TV.
except for when we're doing.
I didn't remember us having 2 Monday night games in a season though.
Yeah.
We've never had Taylor Swift the all season long in the
So all- so-
Okay, fair
so
enough.
All of our
Thanks,
regulatory
Swiftie.
signs as we speak.
No, I have seen her in concert
Have you?
We asked on that.
18 years ago.
18 years ago?
St. Joe for free.
I was getting ready to say, that was a small
She
concert.
was just, she was just starting out as a country musician.
Probably not as effective as they could.
So, yes. I was a Swiftie
So,
back in the
We
day.
have stock of signs at the shop that we can immediately replace.
Oh, okay.
That are fading.
Okay.
And we'll replace, most of those signs are used in like legitimate trailers, not just semis, but landscape trailers. You know, people's personal trailers. Taking out those signs all the time.
I mean, isn't there an antenna on that TV? We can watch it while we're.
So, and anytime we get.
Take that budget off there and put some on there we want to see.
Yeah.
Scroll through the budget really fast.
So, you know, you have signs that were some.
We're not going to go to the budget. We just
See them a lot.
It was presented. Ruth's not even here, obviously.
Hopefully she gets to feel better.
Which none of those.
Penny's super
Any
sick
stop sign or
too.
regular
Yeah.
sign has a
She was like,
strict
see you guys in class, and then she texted this morning, psych, I have a fever. I don't feel good. I'm like, you stay away.
So speaking of stop signs and such, what's it gonna take to get the state kind of get on that intersection
I
when
would
you get
worry
around
more
the
about.
935 on the Pleasant Valley Road to turn back to the west and the marking for people to stay in their own freaking lane turning there? Somebody's gonna get killed.
So 3 times I've called, they came out and painted from that intersection all the way south on 69 Highway. We obviously repainted after we did the street overlay. But I've asked MoDOT to paint what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
I think Jen was maybe the second person
Yeah.
that requested it.
Cause I've been hit, almost hit like a dozen times.
Right.
It's just.
MoDOT doesn't do anything. When I come to work, I normally come 69 Highway. And when I get to Pleasant Valley Road at the light, I'm normally in the far left lane.
Mhm.
And then I turn and I pick up. It's not really the middle lane.
Oh, I know what you're saying, almost that turning lane.
To go straight to the
But-
shop.
Was it all brakes or just
And
rear
I'm always
brakes on,
peripherally watching the car.
45?
And you
All
can
of
kind of tell when they're.
Did we catch them in time to not have to spend everything on it, or?
So I always watch for it, but if the lines were painted.
And
you
painted
should
correctly.
know. Yeah,
Because
you should know.
they shorted it this last time. when they
That
painted
was
it.
a shop over in Liberty?
No, it needs to go out.
But MoDOT only does.
Oh, there you go.
what
Yeah, well,
Well, I know that. They don't even take care of
they
the.
Is yours running any better?
roads
want.
anymore.
I can't make one go. I can call.
Gosh, can I call them tonight?
Yeah.
Does that help?
It might.
Oh,
Yeah, let's hope. If not, we'll be switching you all the way back.
Well, so
From
the one
Quick
bid
Trip
for a
to
3-year, 3-year warranty.
Past care. That double strike is.
I think I got it pulled up on
God love them.
Paramount. Jared, did you get it to come up?
I think
Yeah, he's not trying to log in.
which way.
I'm getting it up on my YouTube.
But because there is maybe a double.
It's played on 5.
Yeah, it's 7:15.
She literally was in her head. I mean,
Still got-
it's that.
No, it didn't start till
that's
7:20, I
MoDOT
thought.
also.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
That whole church
Oh,
road
yeah,
now,
and it won't start until literally the
Church is
minute on
MoDOT,
YouTube.
Stewart Road is MoDOT.
Closed session, thank you.
I don't know. But you can ask them. And you can Google somewhere on there.
Yes.
Well,
So, how was your birthday?
it was great. I ended up cooking I ended up cooking. And we went up to this.
Yeah, like I said.
What's your place down in Briarcliff? We just came, we went way down in Florida. We got, stone crabs, stone crab claws.
Yeah.
You ever had those? Those are, so that, it's pretty cool. They trap the crab, they pull the claw off and let it go. And then throw another one. Yeah.
There you go.
And and they were pretty damn expensive.
I bet it was good though.
Yeah, so we stone crabs and,
That's the only time I like to fish is if it's down on the coast. I refuse to eat fish up here.
well, and I will say, 'cause we had them down there and literally the boats coming in, you know,
Yeah.
and so they were just fabulous. But these up here obviously are frozen, they're like, man, you can't tell. You know,
They're not as,
like
not as tasty, didn't melt in your mouth as well.
They were good.
Yeah.
I made some smoked fish dip, smoked mahi.
Ooh, I bet that was good.
And I added a little smoked cream cheese to it.
Gotta have that. They're page that for
Green
the
onion.
Right away, that'd be fun.
And grilled some grilled chocolate.
Grilled octopus. That didn't make it chewy?
Well, actually, so it was already we got it at Costco.
Okay.
It's already packaged, it's already pre-cooked.
Oh, okay. So you heated it up on the grill.
Put some like Korean barbecue sauce on it.
Nice.
Grilled it.
Well, you know.
Yeah, the girls like all that stuff. Can we do this? I ain't eating none of it, I don't care. Have at it.
We had 2 pre-construction meetings with 2 guys from Evergy here that said, this is the only stuff that's in the ground. Okay, cool.
Yeah, they got hammered Sunday morning on calls, back to back. It was like perfect time for John to go. Lee and Philip had it though.
Evergy wasn't aware. Normally, nobody realizes how the locate finds stuff they're using. They're wrong, but in this case, there they are.
One's gonna do
We need
tuition
contractor.
I seen that. You told me about that.
Maybe.
Oh, that's reminds
He's in
me.
it for 2 hours, right?
I should be up for my second half of my reimbursement too. In December, yeah. I can remember it was November or December last year.
Contractor's ready to go to fix this thing.
Not too worried about it.
Someone decorated for Halloween.
Yeah, Mo was talking to me about it. I was like, Casey paid for fire, right? Yeah, but you paid for this. Yeah, I think you should be good to do it.
He had to receive.
Yeah, that's where our story began.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was there in EMT school.
Got Justin Ross elevated for tonight's game.
Who is?
Justin Ross had received with all the potential, had all the injuries going to college.
Well, contractor.
Which up to do anything with the Chiefs, but nobody else picked him up.
Nobody.
Didn't they say, Pacheco's out for the season? No?
8 weeks, he'll be back again.
Oh, well, let's hope.
Rice is out.
Rice is out.
That's who I heard was out.
Yeah, and that was.
And Hollywood's out for the regular season, but he might be back.
And of course, nothing happened.
Are we the only undefeated, or is there another one undefeated right
The
now?
only one.
Hopefully we can hold that for a while.
We should be able to get through, I mean, tonight, Tampa Bay, we should, you know.
Should.
Drop.
All right.
In case we're on vacation for Monday.
And I'll keep,
So.
today on stop signs, we will package them up and get it to you.
We're in pharmacology and medical school right now. So for lab, they started IVs and stuff like that. So much fun. So much fun. It definitely is a technique. Like I was talking to Caitlin about, she's like, the only secret I can tell you is when you hit that one little spot, when you get flash, go just a hair more and then flatten out. I did that and I'm like, oh, that totally made so much difference. So.
What do you do with it?
They have like this mannequin arm that has 2 big veins that go through it. You can see it kind of, but not really. You have to feel for it. I mean, it looks just like a human arm. I'll take a picture of it, yeah. And they hook it up to some IV bags and they're gravity fed and you just practice. And there's a couple different ones. You gotta go find them and.
But you see where everybody else poked their holes.
Eventually, yeah. And they change the skin like every class, like every group that comes through. So when we started out, but now he's getting some pretty good track marks. So, but, yeah, I think next week we'll sign a waiver and we'll start practicing on us. Like, that'll be fun. There's one girl, she's like, I hate needles. I'm like, this will be a trip.
Might be in the wrong business.
Yeah. But just getting stuck herself. And I'm like, well, we'll figure this out. So she's like, I'll suck it up. I've sucked it up this far. I'm like, you got this, lady. She's 20 and she's just like, I got this. She's like, I want to do this. I'm like, all right, let's go, girl.
The retro exercise is option.
Huh?
One of the Royals that's just not very
Option
good to play again. He gets get paid for next year.
Yeah.
For the Royals, yeah. That's not.
Could he have been a free agent?
Yeah. But who's gonna hire him after a year he had? Now we get stuck with that salary.
So sign Walker.
He came on very well.
Yeah. He's getting old, but in a 3-year contract.
Oh, yeah, I knew that. I didn't do that either before.
G.G. Edwards. Maxine Johnson, that's good, he's out. Give him a week off after concussion like that, so.
But the old police chief got it.
See, the starting running back for Tampa Bay is from Center High School. Never got a Division I scholarship offer out of high school. And now he's come to Arrowhead for the first time because his parents his single mom can afford tickets. So he's never been inside of Arrowhead.
Where do you go to college?
So she's going to wind up at Arizona State or something like that.
If we do, that's a big story.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it?
And I'm like, okay. I still like love it because she can. I'm not like it's her. Sometimes I definitely am like, I still don't really do like chocolate cake. Yeah. I don't know if that's an extra thing or. But I like cake. Yeah.
You got a TGI Fridays gift card, you better go out and use it pretty quick.
Why? Are they going out of business?
File for bankruptcy.
That might not be good anymore. They get rid of their debts. That's a debt.
They're afraid of they got $50 million in gift cards out. Purchased.
I've got so many gift cards on my card I just don't use. I need to.
I know it, I'm terrible at it.
I got some that's expired for it. Place. I'm sorry. I know they're talking about me, so it's my fault. You guys are all in here.
Everybody gets their turn.
No. All right, have fun.
So would you turn, like 52 again?
Yeah.
That's what I heard. That was a rumor.
Yeah, I'm celebrating the 20th anniversary of my 42nd.
Okay, fine, fine.
My thing is saying countdown 5 minutes. Okay. I don't know why though.
Oh, I think the door opened. Somebody warned him about the game starting.
Right. Countdown.
Alright, get back on your side of the stage, Rob. I mean, Chief, Sir Chief.
I was in the office one time.
So.
Then two.
Did you tell him kickoff?
I did. I was like, countdown. 5 minutes. You guys failed.
We asked them to pause it. We
Yeah.
asked them to pause it.
I can't, guys. Pause it.
Sorry, NFL, you gotta hold on.
Right.
We can make a motion for that, right?
I'm confused on why it would be exactly 7:05 when it says 7:15. Oh my gosh, don't care.
Oh,
This is a 7:00 meeting. Get another.
No.
Okay, is there a motion to come out of closed session?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Gallagher call the roll, Mr. Chapman call the roll.
Gallagher.
Yes.
Jacoby.
Yes.
Scarborough.
Yes.
Page.
Yes.
Langer.
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Is any motion coming out of a closed session?
No.
Nope.
Okay. Since Ruth Mesmer's not here, anybody have a financial report for?
Mr. Mayor, I would like to say that the budget meeting was this morning. I understand a lot of you didn't get your emails about it, but Mr. Chapman's got the updated version from this morning, and we've got a calculation in there that will, if we change the rates from 5% to 2% or whatever, it'll tell you what the bottom line is real quick, and we can run through that anytime at your convenience.
Is that the email that we got after as well with that spreadsheet?
Yeah, it's an updated one that you got, if you got one today.
So is it, okay.
Mr. Chapman, you sent it out today?
Yeah, I might ask everybody that's here, did everybody get that?
I got it.
I sent those to personal emails. Well,
Oh, I can't
everybody
get
except- everybody else got it?
And I think it had 5%.
It did,
Yeah.
but that's one with 5%, but we can change it. Look at that real quick while you're doing it.
Okay.
I received it.
I did.
I just,
Yeah, I did. I was there this morning.
we've got this salary thing, and I can change this to 2%. And then if you wait 30 seconds, it's gonna pop up. In the meantime, I'm going to show you maybe. Capital purchases. We're gonna do things a little differently on capital purchase as far as what we report to the board. If you look at that column E, that in row 2, that's the unreconciled balance, so it'll be real close to that. For October 31st, we add in the amount that we're gonna put in for 2025, and then we back out the expenses. If you go down to line 18, that shows you what our capital balance will be based on the budget. And we'll extend that out further. So we want to make sure that we have things. The reason it went from over $1 million to 940,000, 49,000, about $60,000 decrease is we're dropping $322,000 on the ambulance and minus the 750 trade-in. So those are the purchases that your department heads have requested. And then we'll come back to the budget, and it should be done by now. If you'll look at this line right here, this is the general fund balance. The salaries at 5% is what you got, but if we change it to 2%, it'd save the city $52,000 to bring our deficit to minus 180 from 232. And if you look at the overall budget, the entire bottom line, you stayed to save $58,000, but our deficit now, instead of being 425,000, is 367,000. And staff will work on that to make sure our revenues are in check. You see some places else we might cut. And Alderman Messmer would like to meet with the board again in 2 weeks before the council meeting. And the mayor has his department head meeting at 9, maybe one, we still want to do it at 10. So if the department heads could mark that on their calendar. But there you go. That calculates everything and gives you guys real-time answers to what effect the salary would have.
Any questions?
Could you, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Could you, I am really bad at Excel and with numbers. Could you explain to me what salaries at 5% means?
Increasing everybody's salary 5%.
By 5%? And then you said you were comparing that to what again? To
2%. No.
To 2%?
Yeah,
Okay.
see, the ballot, all of them, the information you got has a bottom line of
Yeah.
425,000. But if we reduce the salaries from 5% to 2%, that's what the bottom line will be.
I
And it
understand.
saves the city now $58,000.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Irritates these guys, but it saves the city.
Any other questions?
Just lowered morale a little bit.
And a lot of it, yeah. Let's see what we can do.
Okay, council bills.
Mr. Mayor, would you like me to read Council Bill 3566?
Yes, please do.
An ordinance approving an agreement between the city of Pleasant Valley, Missouri and the firefighter EMT Maroney Renard to reimburse tuition related fee.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, would you like me to ask for a motion and a second to pass Council Bill 3566 on the first and place it on the second?
Yes, please do.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Chapman, please call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Jacoby. Yes. Scarborough,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Langner,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, would you like me to read Council Bill 3566?
Yes, please do.
An ordinance approving an agreement between the city of Pleasant Valley, Missouri and firefighter EMT Maroney Leonard to reimburse tuition-related fee. Mr. Mayor, would you like me to ask for a motion and a second to pass Council Bill 3566 as ordinance 3565?
Yes, please do.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Chapman, please call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Langner,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
I apologize. Who was the first and the second on the first? Are you on both of them?
Yes, that was the first one, but
And Linda, were you second on both?
Yeah, you can go.
Mr. Mayor, would you like me to read Council Bill 3567?
Yes, please do.
An ordinance amending Title II, Chapter 205.110 and 205.120 by adding rules for pet adoptions and fees for pet surrender and adoption. Mr. Mayor, would you like me to ask for a motion and second to pass Council Bill 3567 on the first and place it on the second?
Yes, please do.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Chapman, call the roll, please.
Gallagher,
yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Langner,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, would you like me to read Council Bill 3567?
Yes, please do.
An ordinance amending Title II, Chapter 205.110 and 205.120 by adding rules for pet adoption and fees for pet surrender and adoption. Mr. Mayor, would you like me to ask for a motion and a second to pass Council Bill 3567
Yes, please.
as ordinance 3566?
Yes, please do.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Chapman, please call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Langner,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, would you like me to read Council Bill 3568?
Yes, please do.
An ordinance ratifying an intergovernmental agreement between the Mid-America Regional Council, Solid Waste Management District, and the City of Pleasant Valley. Mr. Mayor, would you like me to ask for a motion and second to pass Council Bill 3568 on the first and place it on the second?
Yes, please do.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Chapman, please call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Langner,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, would you like me to read Council Bill 3568?
Yes, please do.
An ordinance ratifying an intergovernmental agreement between the Mid-America Regional Council, Solid Waste Management District, and the City of Pleasant Valley. Mr. Mayor, would you like me to ask for a motion and second to pass Council Bill 3568 as ordinance 3567?
Yes, please do.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Chapman, call the roll, please.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Langner,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, would you like me to read Council Bill 3569?
Yes, please do.
An ordinance repealing ordinance number 3547 and amending the employee step plan. Mr. Mayor, would you like me to ask for a motion and second to pass Council Bill 3569 on the first and place it on the second?
Yes, please do.
So moved.
For a second,
Second.
any discussion?
Yes. So I have a
You
question.
first.
So, my question really is just, is this necessary in order to help, well, not necessary. Does this help you, Matthew, or payroll in any way?
It doesn't help, it doesn't hurt.
Okay.
It's a correction of a mistake.
And it doesn't have to be done if unless I'm mistaken.
Does it have to be done?
Yeah, do we have to correct this?
I don't guess it has to be done. What it does is all of the steps in the step plan are 2% apart. Without this change, the steps in the communication department for those positions are not. They're more like 1 or 1.5%.
And then I guess the overall question I had is, so say we change it so it's matches every other step plan. Does that mean that all the employees currently get that very minuscule step up into that actual, the new amount for that step plan, for that step?
I assume so, because that's where they should,
Yeah.
that's where they should have been.
One of the words that I heard was, it was a mistake to do, the 3% for every step and
$3.
not a $3 rather than $3 on step one and then 2% for each additional one. I don't know that I would classify it as a mistake. When we made the motion, when Tom Moss made the motion back in the day, he had mentioned that like the general consensus, general idea is everybody in communications would automatically receive $3 more than what they're receiving. That's the way the motion was made. Administration affected that change by adding $3 to every step. And now we've noticed that it is no longer 2%, and we're wishing to make it in line with the other pay grades. So I just bristle at it being labeled as a mistake. We did a thing to retain some employees and capture some new ones, and now we have a desire to make it uniform with all of the others. And I think that's what we're doing.
And mistake was my term.
Yeah.
And I feel comfortable using it because I'm the one that did it. So it's a mistake is my mistake.
I don't think you're.
We could have been more clear, so.
Any
No, but
other,
I was asking basically the same question. Perfect.
any other discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I don't have the exact number in front of me, but to make it right, if that passes, we'll give bill to employees who were about $87,000 in back pay between all the communications employees. So it will be a cost to the city.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna ask about the back pay. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we haven't done back pay in the past. Is that required?
It's not required, but it's just, they earn that money. Staff recommends that they get it. But that's
I would
their decision.
personally prefer if we didn't back pay, they got $3 an hour and nobody else did. So I think that should be good enough personally. Yeah, that's just my thought.
Agree. And part of me bringing up the history of it, everybody gets $3 more. Like that was intentional. That was hey, everybody on their paycheck in dispatch is expecting $3 an hour more. This whole 2% between steps, that's some weird administrative clerical thing that, we should have thought of at the time. But I think that back pay would not be what the spirit and letter of that initial motion was. That initial motion was everybody in dispatch was getting $3 more. Yeah.
Let's see. So is that in the ordinance here? Let's see.
Well, I think the exhibits, when it says current plan effective 5/6/2024, and then corrected, saying effective pay period ending 11/9/2024, and then the lack of a reference to back pay in those exhibits, I think that gives enough direction to say no.
If that's what the board decides. Yeah.
Any other discussion? Mr. Chapman, call the roll, please.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Langman,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, would you like me to ask for a motion and a second to pass Council Bill 3569 as ordinance 3568?
Yes, please do.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Chapman, please call the roll.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Langer,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Okay, anybody got any old business? Any new business?
I
Do
move
I
we
have a
adjourn.
motion to adjourn?
Second.
Mr. Chapman, call the roll, please.
Gallagher,
Yes.
Jacoby,
Yes.
Scarborough,
Yes.
Page,
Yes.
Langer,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Please do not forget to vote tomorrow.
So for now, the game's starting.
Thank you. Oh, James.
In case you had to, first motion takes a while until it is.
Yeah.
Then the second.
I tried to go early and the lines were so long that I was like,
That's the way.
I'm gonna wait till I go. It's my fault, I want on Saturday.
You were right. Yeah, you were right.
Oh, really? Well, then maybe I should have.
Okay, now go brace.
I saw it go all the way around the block, I was like, I'm not doing that. Oh, really?
Hand them out.
Is it electronic on it?
You do the mission.
Is that your laptop? Oh, no, I got it right now.
3 hours.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't. I asked him, but
I
yes.
don't need time, but I'm sure it's for it that way.
Is it black?
Yeah.
Of course,
Black or
yeah.
blue?
No, no one knows.
I'll give you both.
But I'll let anyone know what I think.
If this was any Yes. So they got ready. No.
Excuse me.